written by the developer. So what is DevOps? So here DevOps role is nothing but a deployment. So what is deployment? So here deployment means here we are giving one name, that is what Amazon.com, right? So this is what we called as a domain name. So who are giving this domain name? So this domain name was given by the DevOps engineer. So after developing the code, so after testing the code, we are deploying that application and we are giving one name called domain name. This Amazon.com is called one kind of domain name, right? So where we deploy this application. So whatever code developed by the developer, so where we deploy this code in AWS cloud, right? So there are many cloud platforms are there like AWS, Azure, GCP, IBM. So many are there. In this session, we are discussed about AWS. So we for deployment we are using DevOps, and to deploy that app or application whatever given by the developer in this AWS cloud, right? So in this AWS cloud we need to create servers, right? So in that servers we are deploying our application. So if you want to learn DevOps, you need to learn one cloud platform, right? So if you have already learned any developing languages like C, C++, Java, Python, you can also learn AWS and DevOps, right? So here enterprises expecting more from one person. For example, there is an opening for a developer come DevOps engineer. So if you learn only developer, you cannot apply for the job. If you learn only AWS and DevOps, you cannot apply for the job. And also, enterprises are expecting more from one person. If you have learned Java or any developing languages and along with DevOps plus AWS, it was given more advantage or more priority to get job, right? So this is the advantage of learning AWS and DevOps. So here I am teaching these 12 tools in Millennium Software Solutions. So these are the most important tools to become a DevOps engineer. So the first one is Linux, and the second one is Shell Script, and the next one is Git and GitHub, Apache Maven, Tomcat, SonarQube, Nexus, Jenkins, Ansible, along with AWS, Docker, and Kubernetes. So these 12 tools are enough to become a DevOps engineer along with AWS cloud, right? So welcome to our AWS webinar topic, that is Linux commands. So in this session, I have discussed what is Linux and basic commands, file management, user management, remote access, and file transfer commands. Okay. So what is Linux? So initially we have two kind of operating systems. One is Windows and the other one is Unix. Okay. So in this Unix, Linux is one kind of flavor. So there are many Unix flavors are there. Like Linux, Amazon Linux, Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, Debian, SUSE Linux, right? So these are all the flavors of Unix, right? So mostly we are using this Linux. So how we launch an EC2 instance or server? So if you want to deploy an application, first we need to create a server in AWS, right? So for that, first you need to create one AWS account. So this is my AWS account, okay? And in this account, we have a service called EC2, right? In this EC2, we have an option called instances. So here servers are nothing but instances. So by using this, we can launch n number of servers or instances. So first click on this launch instance. And here you need to give name to that instance. So here I am giving tag as Linux 1. And here we can select any kind of operating system like Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows also you can select, and Red Hat Linux, SUSE Linux, anything based upon the requirement. So here I am using Amazon Linux. And in the next step, you need to select the CPU and RAM. Okay, so here I am selecting 1 CPU core and 1 GB RAM. And the next one is keeper. If you don't know how to launch this in EC2 instance, so in the previous webinar, I have already discussed how to launch an EC2 instance and what are all these options. Please go through it. So here, keeper. So here I am using new keeper. So here I am giving keeper name, and here I am downloading this keeper. Right, it was downloaded into my laptop. And the next one, you don't need to do anything in network settings and storage. So click on launch instance. Right, so scroll down, click on view all instances. So wait up to this instance was coming into running state. Right, so here it was in pending state. So after creating an EC2 instance, how can we connect to that server? So for that we need to use one kind of SSH, any kind of SSH tools. Secure shell. SSH means secure shell. That can be a Mobaxter, Git bash, Putty and Puttizen. So here I am using Mobaxter. So this is the GUI of Mobaxter. So by using this Mobaxter, we can connect to that server. So this server was coming into running state, and here scroll down. So whenever we launch an EC2 instance or server, so two IPs are going to get created. One is public IP and private IP. By using public IP, we need to connect, right? So copy that public IP and open Mobaxter. Click on session and then SSH. And here you need to give EC2 hyphen user. So by using this user, we are connected to that server at the rate, whatever IP we are copied, paste that IP, nothing but public IP. And then click on advanced SSH settings, enable, and then click on this icon. So here whatever PEM file we are downloaded, using that PEM file, connect to the server. Okay. So this is the server I am connecting. So by using SSH tools, we can connect to that server. So here I am using Mobaxter. If you want, you can connect by using Git bash, Putty and Puttizen also in this way. So here I want to give an overview about these Linux commands. So one is mkdir, touch, vi, nano, su, cp, mv, userat, passwd, ssh, scp and cd commands. So the first command is mkdir. So here mkdir means make directory. So make directory means by using this mkdir command, we can create directories. So here directories are nothing but folders. So in real term, the real term was folder, but here in Linux we are using directory. The word is directory. So by using mkdir, we can create directories, right? So and the next one is cd. Cd means change directory. So if you want to go inside this directory, you need to use cd command, right? So and the next one is touch. So touch command is used to create empty files. So here mkdir is used to create directories, and cd is used to go inside that directory, and touch is used to create empty files. So here ls. So here ls command is used to list. So what are files and directories are there in this server. So here press enter. So nothing is there in this server. So here I am creating one directory. So that is what mk command is mkdir. So and give the directory name. So here I am using mkdir, make directory, and give space and then give the directory name. Then press enter. So here the directory was going to get created. So how we know that directory was created? So use ls. So ls means list. If you want to list or or you want to see what was there in this server, right? You need to use ls. Then press enter. So the directory A was going to get created, right? And the next CD. So CD is used to go inside that directory. So give CD means change directory and then give the directory name. Okay. So CD space directory A is used to go inside the directory A. So press enter. So before I am in this folder, nothing but ECT user home directory. So here you can execute one command, that is pwd. Pwd means present working directory. So if you don't know where I was, so you can execute this command, or it will display what is your current working directory, right? Press enter. So here I am in this top level root home, inside ECT user folder, nothing but directory, and inside directory A. If you want to go back, I can use cd hyphen. Press enter. So execute pwd command. So present working directory is home EC2 user. So by using cd command, I will go inside this directory A, right? And after executing this cd hyphen command, I go back to this EC2 user home directory. So this is how we can use cd command. So here I am creating one directory A by using mkdir, but it was not display anything the directory was created or like that, right? So if you want to display a message whether the directory was created or not, we need to use one more option, that is hyphen mkdir hyphen p, sorry, hyphen v, mkdir hyphen v, and give the directory name. So if we are using this option, so it will display whether the directory was created or not. It will display one message, but here they are not using hyphen v option. So here it does not display any message. So here we know we executing ls command to know that the directory was created or not, right? So here I am using mkdir hyphen v option, and then I am creating one directory b. So here it will display a message that is created directory. So this is how we can use mkdir, right? So use ls command. Ls command is used to list, right? So here we have directory A and then directory B. Okay. And next command is cd. So cd is used to go inside the directory. So I can go inside this directory B also. And if you want to go back, you need to use cd hyphen and then press enter. So this is how we can use cd, mkdir and ls commands. And the next command is touch. So here touch is used to create empty files, right? So here I want to create a file, right? So here I am using command that is touch. So touch and give the file name. So here I am giving file1 as my file name, right? And I am using command that is touch, right? So press enter. So how can we list the file1 is created or not? By using ls command. So by using ls command we can list, right? So this is the file1 whatever we are created just now, right? So here directory A is created and directory B was created by using mkdir, and file1 was created by using touch command, right? So here it is an empty file. So nothing is there inside this file. So if you want to edit this file or if you want to write anything, right? So for that you need to use vi and nano editors. So these two are called as editing commands. So first one is vi. So you need to give like this. So vi and give the file name and then press I. So whenever we are executing like this vi and give the file name, after giving file name, it was opened in command mode. So in this command mode, if you are giving anything or if you are typing anything, it was not taken. So if you want to write something in that file, you need to go into the insert mode. So for that we need to use I option. So you need to press I, right? And after that, we need to write something in that file, and after that, go back to the server. You need to use :WQ. So here W is used to save those changes, and Q is used to quit from that mode and then exit. And the next one is nano editor. So here nano is also used to edit the file. So by using nano and give the file name, and here it was open directly in insert mode. You can write anything, and after that use Ctrl O to save and Ctrl X to exit. So we can see practical. So here I have a touch file one. Here I am creating file one, and there is nothing inside this file one. If you want to edit, you need to use BI. Okay, so BI and give the file name. So here my file name is file one, right? And then press enter. So here it was opened in command mode, right? So go into the insert mode, press I. So it was coming into insert mode, and you can write anything. So welcome to AWS DevOps webinar. Okay. So then go back to command mode, press escape, and then use colon. So here I am not using W, right? Here I am using Q. So it means if you are giving only Q, the whatever I am writing here, it was not saved into my file. So, and then press enter. So again I am opening this file by using BI editor. So it was not there because we are not using W option. So if you are not using W option, it was not stored in our file. So for that, again I am writing welcome to DevOps webinar, and then press escape and colon. Here I am using W and then Q. Q means quit option to go back to the work server, and then use exclamation. So now it was saved. So whatever content inside this file, if you want to see the content inside the file, we need to use cat command. So cat is a display command. So this is used to display the content inside the file. So give the cat and then file one. Press enter. So whatever I am writing in that file by using BI editor, it was stored, right? But in earlier it was not stored because we are not using W option. And also you can use either nano also. So nano and give the file one. So here nano also is an editing command. You can also use a nano command also, but it was open in different way. So here it was already open in a insert mode. So you can write, for example, updated line using nano editor. So here I am using updated line using nano editor. So then press Ctrl X and then Shift Y and then press enter, right? So if you want to display this content inside the file, we need to use cat again. So cat file one, right? Press enter. So two lines are there. One is we are editing by using the BI editor, and the other one is we are edited by using the nano editor. And here cat is nothing but a display command. And then ls is used to list. Touch is used to create empty files. And then cd is used to go inside the directory. mkdir is used to create a directory. And then pwd is used to know the present working directory. So, so these are the commands we have discussed. And the next command is su. So su means switch user, right? So here in which user I am creating file and I am creating directory and I am executing all these commands by using an EC2 user. So whenever we are creating a server, two users are by default, two users are going to get created. One is EC2 user and the other one is root user. So one is EC2 user and the other one is root user. So if you want to go into the root user, so here we are in EC2 user, right? So if we want to go to the root user, so we need to use a command that is su, switch user. So here I am using su username. Okay. So here I am using su hyphen username. Okay. So if you are using like this, if you are giving only su hyphen, it will ask password to the root user, right? So, but we are not set any password to this root user, right? So if you want to go or if you want to switch to that root user without password, we need to use sudo in front of this command. So in front of su-root, we need to use sudo command. So why we need to use, so this sudo gives super privileges to this EC2 user. So here EC2 user is a normal user and root user is an admin user. So you are a normal person and you are switching into the admin room, right? So you don't have permissions, right? So to give an access, we need to use this sudo option, right? So this sudo makes this EC2 user as a root user, nothing but super privileges. So it will give super permission to this normal user, and without password we can switch to the root user, right? So here I am in which user? Root user. So this is how we can switch to the user, right? And the next one is cp and mv commands. So here cp command is used to copy files, nothing but control C, and mv is nothing but control X, right? So cp means copy. So if you want to copy any file or any directory from one location to another location in this server, you need to use cp command. Or if you want to completely, you want to move that file or directory from one location to another location in the server, we need to use mv command. And also mv is also used to change the name of that file or directory. For example, here I am giving file 1. So where I am in root user. So here I am giving ls command. So nothing is there. So here we are creating a number of files and directories, but where those files and directories are created? EC2 user. So here I am using ls command in which user? Root user. So root user we are not creating anything, right? So if you want to go back to this EC2 user, we need to use exit option, exit command. So here where I am in EC2 user, right? So use ls command. Okay. So here I want to copy. So here I have a file 1 and I want to copy this file 1 into directory B, right? So file 1 into directory B. So first we need to use copy command cp and give the file 1. Okay. And then give the, so this is the source where the file or directory was located, and then use directory B in. So I am copying this file 1 from here to this directory B, right? So press enter. So here I am not moving, I am just copying, right? So here I am using ls directory B. So it shows, if you are using ls here, it will show all the files and directories in this EC2 user. But if you are using one more option, that is directory B, it will list the files and directories in this directory B. So here file 1 is there. So here the file 1 is in this location also and in this directory B also. This is how we can copy files or folders from one location to another location. For example, if you want to move any file from here to another location, we need to use mv command and give the file 1. Okay. So here I am moving this file 1 to root user. So to this location, I want to move that file 1 from EC2 user to root user. So here I am using source as a file 1 and destination as a root, right? So then press enter. So it shows permission denied. So we need to use sudo in front of mv command. So this sudo gives permissions to this EC2 user to move this file into a root user, right? So press enter. So again switch to the root user and then execute ls. So here the file 1 is moved from EC2 user to root user. Then if you want to go back, use exit command. So here do ls. So file 1 is not here because it was moved from here to root user. So this is how we can use cp and mv command, right? So here I am creating one more file, that is touch file 2, right? So if you want to change name to this file, right? So we need to use mv command again. So here give file 2 and new name, for example log. So this is the old file name and this is the new file name, right? So then press enter. So the file name was changed. Previously it has file 2 and then it was changed into log, right? So this is how we can use cp and mv commands. So and the next one is user add and pass w. So here we have only two users. One is EC2 user and root user. So if you want to create one more user, right? So if we want to create one more user, we need to use user add. So user add command is used to create user. So user add and give the name as MSS. So this is my user name. So this is the command and this is the user name, right? So then press enter. So it shows an error, that is permission denied. So this EC2 user does not have permissions to create a user MSS, right? So for that you need to use sudo in front of the command, right? So sudo user add MSS. Press enter. So the user was created. So where we know the user was created or not. So there is one. All the users are created or stored in one directory, that is what? Home directory. So if you are creating any user with that username, a directory was or folder was created in this home directory. So this is how we know that the user was created or not. So MSS user was created. So if you want to switch from this EC2 user to MSS user, so what command we need to use? su-mss. So it asks password, right? So we are not set up any password, right? So for that we need to use sudo in front of that command. So here I am switching to MSS user. So if you want to go back, you need to execute exit command. So if you want to set up a password to that user, we need to use passwd command. So here we need to use passwd command to create a password to the user. So passwd and give the user name. So it will ask password. So here it throws an error. Only root can specify a username. So if you want to give password to the user, we need to use sudo in front of the command. If you are in EC2 user, right? So it will ask password for 2 times. And here I am entering password, but it was not shown. Press enter. So the password is created successfully. So here, if we want to switch with the password, we need to use 1, 2. We need to give the password, right? So here I am switching to that user by using the password. But previously, I am switching to the user without using password. So if you want to switch to that user without using password, you need to use sudo in front of the su command. If you want to switch to that user by using password, you need to set up a password and then switch it to the user by using the password. So this is how we can switch to the users. in server. And the next one is SSH command. So here SSH command is used to, so here SSH is nothing but a secure cell. So here I have two servers. One is Linux 1 and the other one is Linux 2. So I want to switch, or I want to connect to this Linux 2 server from Linux 1 server. So here I am connecting to the Linux 1 server using mobile stuff, right? So I want to connect to this Linux 2 server not by using mobile system, by using this Linux 1 server. So here for that we need to use SSH command, right? So here I want to connect to that server nothing but Linux 2 by using Linux 1 server. So how we can set up? So first, to connect to that server, we need to set up a password to this Linux 2 server. So first I am connecting to this Linux 2 server again. So by using mobile stem. So here I am using ec2-user public IP. Here I am connecting to the Linux 2 server. So here I am using PEM file and then click OK. So here I am connected to the Linux 2 server. So here I want to connect to this Linux 2 server inside the Linux 1 server. So how we can connect? So first we need to set up a password to this EC2 user. So why? Because we are connected to this Linux 2 server in this Linux 1 server by using an EC2 user, right? So for that, first we need to set up a password to this user by using command sudo pass wd ec2-user. So here I am giving, or I am set up password to the EC2 user and it will ask password 1234 and then 1234. Right? So after creating password, we need to do some configurations. So that is, so first use sudo command and then use VA editor. So here I am doing some configurations in one file, that is etc/sshd_config. So this is also a file. So this is the default file. It was created while creating the server. So here I am using VA editor to open that file. And why I am using sudo? Because this file was there inside top level root, nothing but root user. So we don't have permission. So open this file and then scroll down. So here we have password authentication. No, this means we are not connected to this server by using password. So, but from this Linux server, I want to connect to this Linux server by using password, right? So for that, we need to change this no to S. This means we can connect to this Linux 2 server from the Linux 1 server by using the password. So, right? So whatever changes we are doing in this file, to reflect those changes, we need to restart this service. So service sshd restart. So this is how we can restart. So this is the Linux. So here I am closing this server. So this is my Linux 1 server. So remember this IP address 172.31.10.105. This is the Linux 1 server. So here from this I am switching to Linux 2 server by using SSH command. So why I am using sudo? Because to give super privileges to switch to that server, we need to use sudo and then give the SSH and then give the username. So with which user you want to connect to this server, Linux 2 server, by using EC2 user @ So here I am using IP address. So this Linux 2, so here we are connected from Linux 1 to Linux 2. So here we need to use the Linux 2 server public IP and then paste it here. Right? So sudo SSH command is used to connect to Linux 2 server. And then EC2 user, with which user it was connected to that server, EC2 user, and then by the public IP. Then press enter. So first time it will ask permission. So here I am typing S and then enter. So it will ask password 1, 2, 3, 4. So, so this is the Linux 2 server private IP and this is the Linux 1 server private IP. So here I am connecting to the Linux 2 server within the Linux server. So for that we are using SSH command. Okay. So if you want to go back, you need to use exit. So again I am connecting to my Linux 1 server. Right. So this is how we can use SSH command. And the next one is SCP. So here SCP means secure copy. So if you want to copy a file or directory from Linux 1 to Linux 2, right? So here SSH is used to connect to this server, but SCP is used to copy files or folders from Linux 1 to Linux 2. So for that we are using this SCP command, secure copy, right? So here I have log file, right? So I want to copy this log file into Linux 2 server. So for that we are using SCP and give the file name. So this is the file name and where we want to copy Linux 2. So first you need to give the Linux 2 server username and then give the public IP of this Linux 2 server. Right? And then where, so in this Linux 2 server, where you want to copy, right? You need to give the path where you want to copy this file, right? So in this location, I want to copy the file. Then, so at the beginning, you need to use sudo. So it will ask password. So the file was copied. So how we know that the file was copied? So again connected to the server, Linux 2 server by using SSH command. Using SSH command, here I am connecting to the Linux 2 server, right? So give password. So here this is the Linux 2 server and here I am using ls command. So the log file was copied into Linux 2 server from Linux 1 server by using the SCP command. So again I exit. So this is a Linux 1 server. So from this the log file was copied into Linux 2 server. So here we are discussed basic file operations, mancada, touch, cp, mb, ls, and then text editing commands like vi nano, user management commands like su, user add, pass wd, remote operations like ssh and scp, and we can see everything in practical. So here why choosers. So here Millennium Software Solutions is the leading training institute and provide high quality software training on many courses. So all our trainers are experts and more than 5 lakh students are placed in reputed companies over the past 25 years. So here we are providing career guidance and placement assistance for students and professionals and also provides corporate training and internship programs. So these are the courses we offered like MS Office, C, C++, and testing, Selenium, manual testing, AutoCAD, CATIA, Creo, and SAP, and Python, Java, full stack courses, and AWS and DevOps, AutoCAD, hardware and networking, and databases, data science, machine learning, AI, deep learning, and Power BI. And along with the digital marketing. So if you want to start your career in IT industry, Millennium Software Solutions is the right place. So if you want to know more details about the courses, please contact to this number. So this is the number 9248753098, and you can approach Millennium Software Solutions directly through this address, Dwarka Nagar, first lane, Visakhapatnam. So if you have any questions related to career guidance or job opportunities related to AWS and DevOps, anything you can ask freely. I hope this you all understand this these basic Linux commands, and also have discussed the advanced Linux commands. So if you have any questions, you can ask. So thank you so much for joining. Have a great day.